here we go. Episode 22. How's it going, Trystin?
It's going, man.
Yeah.
Waking up every morning, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, we try. That's for sure. So how's the band going?
It's going actually really well. We've taken a couple months off, just kind of planning the next steps. We've got some stuff in the works. I guess not exactly stuff in the works. We've got I guess I can't say a whole lot. We've got some stuff. We got some stuff coming out soon. No solidified release date right now, but
yeah, there's a lot of people saying stuff like that right now. I'm excited. Like the next like 4 or 5 months, so much is gonna come out. I mean, so much has already been coming out. But
oh, dude,
as far as this local scene in Arizona, anyways.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for my boys Pariah to drop something. Steve, drop something.
Here, move that a little closer. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild couple months for sure. When it cools down, concerts pick back up a little bit more. But yeah. So tell people your band and what kind of music you do and what you play and all that.
So Apex Alpha, I can't really classify or like put us in like one specific genre. When we first started, we were like trying to, with like the original lineup and whatnot, we were trying to I guess we'd shoot for deathcore. The first EP was definitely like all over the fucking place with different sounds and shit.
Yeah.
And then when the lineup, which is this lineup, since 2018, I think we've kind of like stuck ourselves in like a really nice like progressive metalcore kind of genre. I guess that's the best way to classify us.
Yeah.
But I play bass. I do backing vocals live. That's pretty much my job. I'm the bassist. I could be replaced by a laptop.
You work on like writing for the bass, or and just play?
I just kind of play right now. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to write.
Yeah.
It's really come down to like Stefan, our drummer. He is a brain. He's a brain on legs. That man is a genius.
Yeah, bands usually have the genius guy who's like always writing at least the solid backbone of the songs.
Oh, absolutely.
And then like everybody else is like, okay, I can work with this.
Oh yeah.
And, I'm sure you add your stuff in every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that is either out right now, as far as like the previous release singles that have since 2018 have been done by either like Stefan or when we had songs co-written with Eric Jensen, and yeah, Stefan is he's that guy. He's that one. He's that backbone guy.
Makes it easy for you.
Oh yeah, he makes it super easy for me. He makes it easy for me, like mentally. Physically, my fingers sometimes can't keep up, but it's I'm a bassist. Like I said, I could be replaced by a laptop.
There's not much to add then.
No.
Well, so you play the songs live exactly how you would play them in a recording studio then?
For the most part. I mean, sometimes, if you have to, play the same note, just different.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if I can't like, if my fingers don't want to work the way they need to work to play a certain song, then I have to just fill the gaps. I don't like doing that, but at the same time, sometimes it's necessary so that I'm not screwing everything up on stage.
Yeah, I imagine it's a little harder to do that as like lead guitarist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. both of our guitarists are nuts. They can play that shit perfectly fine.
You could fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
like most people are just like on the wiser.
Yeah, I'm just like, you guys can't tell what I'm doing. Whatever, let's go. The only people who can hear me are my drummer and my guitarists in their ears. Let's go.
Hopefully they're on that.
Oh no, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Everything's fine.
What's the last show you played?
Sad Dad Summerfest.
I remember that. I remember seeing those posters and stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely something. It started off as us trying to figure out, because we hadn't headlined a show since 2019, And we had been talking for like a year about, you know, when do we want to set up our next headliner? When will we be ready to do our next headliner? And then finally, it went from just being like our headlining show. And when we got like all the rest of the bands in on it, like Condemned and Dead Echo and Echoes and Ashes, Broken Eclipse, all those guys, we just kind of like, we all thought about it. And then Tim from Condemned Till Dawn came up with the name Sad Dad Summerfest.
Of course it was Tim.
And I was like, you know what? That is sick. Let's stick with this. Let's make it like a fest, like a festival. And you know, and actually just got greenlit to make it annual for Arizona.
Oh, geez.
So Sad Dad Summerfest 2023 coming back next year. Let's go.
That's Tim's legacy.
That will be Tim's legacy.
Well, I guess you guys started it, huh? Apex Alpha technically is your guys' legacy.
we headlined it. We headlined it. Tim is that genius with that name.
He named it.
That was top tier. That man just pulled that name out of nowhere, and he's like, this. Everyone's like, love it.
Yeah, that has his sound to it for sure.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
That man is.
Love him.
Got another show lined up?
We have something in the works we're planning on January, either January or February, making a return to the stage. We wanted to take a couple months off. Everybody's kind of living their own lives, doing their things, and we just wanted to make sure the next time we go on stage, all of us are mentally, physically, emotionally there and like able to do what we got to do.
Nobody's like dreading going up.
Yeah.
Trying to break together the extra time to go or practice.
Yeah. Well, everybody's just got their busy lives, you know, work, families. It just, you know, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, you got to kind of set up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not in the mode, it's like kind of just a wrench in your whole plan. Like I've seen it happen to people where it's just like they don't know how to get to the stage because everything is just falling apart around them.
Oh yeah,
it just makes the performance so much harder, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. When we first started playing shows, like we were, you know, trying to play any show that we could. We, you know, our very first show, we managed to get a slot playing with Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah.
And that was at Pub Rock, and our very first show was so messy for us because we had, you know, practiced maybe 3 or 4 times for the actual show itself. And this is like with our old vocalist, and then a fill-in guitarist, and then Stefan when he was just gonna be just a fill-in drummer. And we ended up like we had like the Ephemeral and I Pariah who had played before us, and we're like, oh shit, this is our first show, and why did we get direct support? Why did we do this? This is a stupid idea. Why the fuck did we do this? And we get up on stage and we're just like, we don't know what the fuck we are doing.
Was it like a new experience for you guys? Have you been on stage before at that point, or was it like totally new?
I had been on stage before, but it wasn't to like that degree. It was definitely a little bit more. It was a very new experience, in just like that kind of light.
Yeah.
I know that Stefan had been on stage, you know, many times, and then the fill-in guitarist that we had at the time, Nick, he had been on stage also many times. But myself and our old vocalist Anthony, I think that was like our very first time, kind of just like being on stage in that kind of light, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's like a big expectation to fill. Like after some big names go up before you, like I can't imagine. Then people are like waiting there, like, what's next?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Because like right before like we went on, I'm like standing over off to the side watching I Pariah perform, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
oh, I can't do this, guys. I'm getting those jitters. I can't do this. There's no way.
Yeah, I imagine. All right, we're back. We're just talking about following up a really big act.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it was. I'm just gonna throw this out there, man. I think I Pariah is probably, in my opinion, one of the craziest fucking bands to ever try to follow up in this scene.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's ever been one Pariah show that I've been to where I haven't been like, yeah, no fucking way, I can't.
do they like just like raise the energy on it, or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like Steve as a frontman is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, just he's incredible.
it's hard to carry the same energy over from a band that's just like fucking blowing the crowd away.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like sometimes if you have a set list that doesn't match, you're like, fuck. Like I've seen bands of a different genre follow a band with higher energy, and it's not as if the band afterwards is not as good, but the crowd can't get into it anymore.
Oh yeah,
like you burnt them out, and then a lighter band comes on and they're fucked.
I'll throw this out there and and I'll be real, 100% real. I think the two bands in Arizona, like in this scene, that are the hardest, in my opinion, to ever try to follow up after, try to play after.
Yeah.
Condemned Till Dawn and I Pariah.
Dude, Condemned Till Dawn is heavy as fuck.
Condemned,
awesome.
I've been friends with those guys for a very long time. Like, back when Nate was in the band, I met Nate when I worked at a Circle K, and this kid would come in and try to buy his cigarettes.
Yeah, man. And it's like I knew Condemned Till Dawn when I was like working with Arcanaut.
Yeah.
And honestly, Arcanaut was one of those bands that was like such high energy. I don't know if you've seen them live, but
I think maybe I have.
Arcanaut. It's like it's got Dan, Luis, Attila. Steven was the front man for that band.
Yep.
And so like that band was like super high energy, like super fucking loud and fast and just in your face. Every song started with just explosions like all the time. And like you've seen bands, like you'd see a band go up after them, it's like, more melodic and more like clean vocals, and the crowd is just like,
so how do we go from here?
It's like time to relax.
I'm gonna stand in the back with my arms crossed.
Time to settle down. Like, and the band is like, shit, like we're not doing well. It's like, that's not even it. Like, because Arcanaut burnt them out. Like, and it's like, it kind of sucks. Like, Arcanaut was almost like the best as the headliner because they were the explosion at the end of the show. Like, and like that was what was cool about Condemned. Like, they played with Condemned so many times. It's because their energy matched. Like, Condemned is super fucking loud and explosive, and then Arcanaut goes on and is super fucking loud and explosive. It's like it just doubles.
There's no break. There's no taking a break.
It's insane. Dude.
From the time Arcanaut would get off stage, or the time Condemned would get off stage, until one of those bands would get right back on, you're just like, okay, I've got like 10 minutes to breathe, or else I'm gonna get hurt.
I gotta go get a beer.
I gotta go get a beer right now.
Yeah, and now they've reformed into Cytera.
Yeah.
And they're just as explosive, man.
Luis is intense.
He is, man. He's great as a singer, dude. His vocals have always blown me away.
Oh, yeah.
He's the fucking intro to the podcast, man. I had to have his vocals. Like, he's the intro.
Yeah.
So, I gotta get him to redo it, though.
You hear that, Luis? You have a job to do.
Yeah, Luis. Get on it.
You gotta get on it, man.
No, I gotta get him to listen to the podcast, even.
Oh, shit.
That's all right. My following is growing slowly. But, yeah, dude, I got to get him to redo that. I want him to he did the guitar, too, in the beginning. So, he does the guitar and the vocals. I recorded that at Craft. But, yeah, dude, he's crazy on stage. Like, he's super powerful. Just super loud.
He's got a lot of energy, man. He's intense.
He does it well. He does it really well.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see Cytera, like, follow Condemned, or vice versa. I want to see those two together.
I think that would be insane.
Yeah, it's just a tiny bit different than Arcanaut.
Yeah.
Steven's vocals were like more like raw and like kind of, I don't know, I guess that's the only way to describe it. More raw, more loud and harsh. And Luis is like melodic and like booming, and like, he draws out the sounds, and it's just super impressive. It's crazy.
Well, if I'm correct, I believe when during Sad Death Summerfest, I believe Luis came and jumped up on stage and performed with Condemned Till Dawn. When Kyler was a little limpy. Yeah. But man, let me tell you, I've never seen a person get on stage after having that kind of injury to their foot and then just kind of go ape shit, not give a fuck. And he's just like, yeah, fuck it, I hurt myself, whatever, let's go. Fuck it, we ball.
That's nuts, dude. Just take a shot. You'll be okay.
Essentially, he's walking around with his cane, and I'm just like, oh, this man don't care.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I wish I could have gone to that, man. That sounded like such fun.
I gotta be honest, man. The turnout was a lot better than I had initially projected, because I was like, how are we gonna like really like market this? And we got one of my best friends. We shot a video out in the parking lot of the Nile. It was myself, Dakota from Amaya, Christian and Miles from Echoes and Ashes, Kyler, Tim, and Danny from Broken Eclipse.
Yeah.
We had my buddy Logan. He showed up wearing nothing but overalls, and he had a fresh mullet cut, and sitting there wearing his pit vipers and shit. We had him lay down on his back on the tailgate of the truck, and we all just like poured PBR on his face. And Ruben caught it all in slow motion, made it look perfect. And we got this video just like done, and like we were like, we don't know if Kim from 13th Floor is gonna market this. We don't know if she's gonna like it, but fuck it, let's send it to her.
She should.
I think that was probably the funniest shit we've ever done, because it took a whole whopping 20 minutes, but that video being like a whole minute long, you're like, this is incredible. This is an experience. This was a fucking experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, I gotta do some more crazy marketing like that for this. It has to be the wildest shit.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Like it's the metal scene, so like being like mild, being like, oh, is this too much? Is this too wild? Is this too fucking weird? Like, I don't think that mentality is gonna work in the metal scene.
Oh, never. There's no level of weird. I mean, hold on. I guess there is a level of weird that you can't cross. But I mean, for the most part, like when it comes to marketing in the metal and like just in this scene alone, I don't really think there's a whole lot of boundaries.
Well, as long as you're thinking in terms of metal.
Yeah. If you're thinking in terms of metal, and then you
broad subject, but at the same time, like you can make it pretty bad.
You could, but I mean, you gotta think about it. You get like you get a group of some of these guys together, and you get like some kind of marketing done for the podcast.
Yeah,
bro. You get Dakota, Kyler, Tim.
I've been thinking about it, man. Like that's why I need to add video. Like I really want to add video so I can start doing like little short clips and stuff. And I'd love to have like go to a show and have band members and just like line them up and like walk down the line, have them fucking say some stupid shit all the way down or whatever, and just have the things be on sound logo floating in the background or
that
whatever.
Could be dangerous. Some of these guys, you don't know what might come out of their mouth.
Pretty great though.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty great. Yeah, I always have the power to like bleep.
You do.
Make it seem worse than it is.
Yeah.
Just bleeping words that don't need to be bleeped.
Is the unnecessary censorship?
That would be great.
Someone's over here just talking about their lunch. They're like, oh yeah, well today I had blank.
I'll just bleep out Kyler entirely.
You're watching his mouth move and everyone's over here just letting their imagination run wild. I wonder what he's saying.
Yeah. Every time I ask someone else, they'll just be like, I don't know, man. I can't repeat what he said. It's just too crazy.
Oh no, if I say it, I'm gonna get canceled, dude.
Canceled immediately.
Immediate cancel, dude.
Don't
These people
are me now.
Watch out, Zuckerberg's gonna see this. I'm just done.
No, on this mixer, there's like buttons that have I can assign sounds to them. And I was thinking about just assigning a beep, so I could just bleep people out while they're talking and be like, "Whoa, dude!
Whoa, chill,
you can't say that."
Don't say that. This is going on Spotify, man. Stop.
Or they try to say their band name. Just bleep them out.
Wait, who's your band? Jesus Christ! How did you get away with that? With naming your band that?
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make this podcast too crazy. I kind of want to just keep it stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen podcasts where they add this ridiculous production value into it, and it almost seems more like a radio show than a podcast. And like, hey man, whatever you want to do. But
oh yeah,
I like to keep it just simple conversations. I feel like people are more interested in listening to that while they're driving or working or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean, you give people something that they want to listen to, something that they'll find interesting, like this, like this podcast alone. I could drive and listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, it has potential. I just gotta get better at it. Every time it's different. We were just talking about it before we started. Like, This is episode 22, and there's been 22 different problems. Like every single episode is a different setup.
The things beyond sound experience.
Oh yeah, I'm getting pretty tired of it, honestly. Everything going wrong, something else going wrong every single time. I don't know. It'll get better.
It will.
Absolutely. Those mics that have like a boom arm, you can just like kind of carry over to yourself.
Yeah.
But I want to mount them on the wall, so you can just like pull them off the wall, just put them where you want. Like, that'd be really cool.
You just pay Tim and Beer to have him stand over here with with a boom.
Yeah, but then I got to worry about him like cracking open new ones during the recording every time. Like,
oh yeah, true.
People be worried about how much I'm drinking.
I mean, get him like one of the beer hats where you just put put like 10 beers on it. Like you can mount the like holders on it. Just put like 10 on there.
I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I need Tim. Yeah, I think he's good at what he does.
Sorry, Tim.
It's okay, man. I think he'd understand.
He would understand.
He doesn't want to sit here with his arms over his head the whole time.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that. Let's have him on another episode.
Just have him watch Independence Day. He'll be fine.
Apparently, he loves that movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Who doesn't? Another movie where Will Smith saves the world.
Another one. Just wait for Men in Black 4. Well, actually, they already have that one. Never mind. Wait until Men in Black 5.
Unless it's by M. Night Shyamalan, I'll watch it.
Hey, look, real quick. You want to talk about M. Night Shyamalan? Have you seen that movie, Old?
No, I will never watch that movie.
Dude, actually, believe it or not, look,
I'm not gonna watch it.
Dude, you gotta watch it. I'm only gonna say this, like, the first, 40 minutes of the movie, you're like, man, what the fuck's going on? And then, 30 minutes after that, you're like, no, seriously, what the fuck is going on? And then, for the rest of the movie, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
I can't do it. Because M. Night Shyamalan just doesn't use science. He just throws it out the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no science involved at all.
Oh, no, never.
It's just like, what if science didn't exist and this happened?
Oh, yeah.
What if this is totally unexplainable and there's no continuity, but it happened anyways? It's like, okay, I can't do it because there's no making sense of it. There is nothing that explains it. You know what I mean?
Did you watch Signs?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. That was a decent movie. It's not like The Last Airbender. We're not going to talk about The Last Airbender.
There was enough shrouded in mystery to where you could fill in gaps, and it would be like, okay, alien. Like, the aliens came here, and there's some unexplainable shit. Like, why are they allergic to water? I don't know, but at least all of them are. You know, at least there's water in the air, so technically they'd be dying as soon as they came down.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you ignore that, the movie makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, really. But it's like, in The Happening.
Oh, I don't know.
Fallen,
that movie was
taking over. Come on.
That movie was a disaster.
And then the movie I was referencing is After Earth.
Oh, that was
Will
trash.
Smith. Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan. He doesn't believe in science. He just doesn't. Not in his movies.
That movie was so bad, though. I don't know how that even managed to make it out.
Yeah.
I don't know how any studio was just like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. Let's put this out.
It's because M. Night Shyamalan's name. He makes money in Hollywood. I don't it's the name, and you know that there's a lot of money in that movie.
Yeah.
You know that it's going to be a big money production when you see M. Night Shyamalan. You know it's going to be crazy and wild, and there's going to be random twists that you don't expect.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't like it is because none of it makes sense. At all.
That was the fun part of that movie, Old, though, is that none of it really made sense. But watching that movie, it was an experience. I promise you, that movie is such an experience. You'll sit there and watch it, and like I said, you'll probably say, what the fuck, at least 18 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I said what the fuck at least 18 times. And so I'm assuming that everybody else who watched it said it just that much, that many times.
I think the latest what the fuck thing I've watched is this show on Paramount called Evil. It's set up in a episode to episode kind of fashion, almost like a Law and Order kind of format.
Yeah.
Every episode is a case, but it's like a psychologist that gets hired by the Catholic Church, and there's a priest, and the priest is played by the dude who plays Luke Cage. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Yeah.
But you know, that dude, he's really fucking good actor. But he's the priest, and he's hired or he's working for the Catholic Church to investigate exorcisms. So he's there to see if an exorcism needs to happen or if it's not, if it's just fake, if it's false, if there's another explanation. And he just gets sent around to these different investigations by the Catholic Church. And he has a scientist and this engineer with him. And they try to disprove him all the time. And they disprove it almost every episode. It's disproven, But then there's little tiny subplots, weird shit where it's what the fuck is going on? And then that kind of shit ramps up, and it just gets really fucking weird. What the fuck?
See, I'm gonna have to watch that now because in the back of my mind when you brought up it's the guy who plays Luke Cage. The only thing I can think of is oh yeah, try disproving Luke Cage. See how well that works out for you.
Oh, dude, he gets scary. Yeah, that's for sure.
And you're just yeah, I'm this might be wrong, but I'm not gonna open my mouth. I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Yeah, I like him as an actor because he looks like he's the tough guy, he's gonna come up and kick your ass. But then he just talks all subtly, explains everything in such a cool manner, and he's always chill and calm. And then he just stares you down, and you're like, oh fuck.
You're oh no.
Yeah, you're shit.
I am not gonna disagree with the thing this man says. Yeah. This man can tell me the sky is red, and I'm gonna be oh fuck yeah, it is.
He's a Catholic priest in this show.
Oh no.
It's oh no. I don't know. It's cool though. He's a good guy in the show. He plays a hero pretty much. He's always saving people and stuff. But it's that show's definitely what the fuck am I watching?
I'm definitely gonna need to watch that. It's called Evil.
At the end of the episode, something crazy happens. You're they didn't explain that part.
Where the fuck did this come?
I thought they explained this shit.
Yeah.
And something weird happens at the end before the credits. Shit. But yeah, there's another movie that came out recently called Black Phone.
Dude, that movie was fucking awesome.
That was a what the fuck kind of movie. That was nuts, dude. That was a good one too.
I am a huge horror and slasher connoisseur. I fucking everything. Ever since I was a kid. I'm talking I think the very first horror movie I ever watched, I was maybe 5 years old. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I was, from that point on, everything in my life has always revolved around horror and slashers and shit. And I have just so much unnecessary information based off of serial killers that's just stored in my brain.
Oh yeah.
And so when I saw Black Phone, the trailer come up, I was I haven't seen a good horror movie or a good thriller or a good psychological thriller in years. I went and sat in the theater. I'm just sitting there watching this movie, man. I started getting anxiety, and I was this is how I know this is a good fucking movie.
Wasn't that a book by
It was
Joe Hill?
I think it was a short story.
Joe Hill? Was it?
I don't know.
Joe Hill, he's Stephen King's son.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
His pen name or whatever. Lock and Key. I know that's by Joe Hill. Have you seen that one?
I believe I have.
That one's really good. That's based on a graphic novel by Joe Hill. I have it on my shelf over here. But that one's it's a really good comic. And when I heard they were making it into a show, it's holy shit, how dark are they gonna go with this? Because it starts out kind of happy family, shit just goes wrong. You see magic keys and it seems all whimsical, oh, these magic keys are so cool, oh, nice magic cool stuff, and then fucking demons come out and start trying to get the keys, and it just gets crazy really fast. People start dying, and you're this is not a family friendly story anymore. Holy shit!
That is such a cool looking key. I wonder where that takes me. Next thing you know, you're just what the fuck?
And then after a while in the story, they find more keys, and they're hesitant to use them. Like, I don't know what this does. Like, this could be bad. You know? So,
I really need to think this through before
I start thinking about it instead of just like diving into this magic shit.
Have you ever like thought about it and you see some of these things happen in some of these shows where like you're like if I were to like put myself in that person's shoes and I were to see this magical key sitting on the ground, I wouldn't pick that shit up. I'd be like, nope, nah. I got some shit I got to do. I got to go to work. I got bills to pay. I don't have time.
Honestly, if I came across a magic key, I can't say I wouldn't use it, but it wouldn't be, to go get some fucking ice cream. Like, I would be very careful with how I use magic. Like, if there's something I couldn't explain, but you got to keep in mind, like, what does it cost?
Yeah,
everything costs.
Everything has a price, but you could sit there and just be like, hey, you know what? I could use this key to blackmail whatever dark force it is that wants this key, and I could be like, hey, you want this key? Yeah. You want it? Come on, donkey, you want your carrot?
Yeah. What I'm thinking is like, what if the price was already paid? What if the price was paid and the power was paid to make the key, and now it exists, and now the cost is already done.
See, that's interesting, because then you can sit there and be like, oh, now I can use this free of consequence.
Or for at least your entire lifetime.
See, that's dangerous.
The power might run out, but it might be for 1,000 years. Who knows?
Dangerous.
Yeah, that would be like Lord of the Rings shit right there.
That would be
the Rings of Power.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never watch.
I have not watched it yet. I'm
not going
so hesitant to.
I'm not going to. Anything by Amazon is like... Dude, I was watching a show, what was it? The Expanse, an Amazon original.
Mm-hmm.
Sci-fi, like, Earth and Mars and the asteroid belt, they're all at war. It just gets crazy. Alien technology comes in and fucks shit up. And it's a really cool show. It has a really cool twisty plot and all that. And, right around season 4, it gets kind of woke. It's really strange. Some characters come in that, like, why is this character in here? Like, just because you don't know their gender, is that all it is? Like this person exists because they don't have a gender. They won't call him he or her. Like, that's just strange. Like, and I looked up when the season 4 came out. It was 2020.
Oh, shit.
So season 1, 2, and 3, and then 2020 was when season 4 came out, and then there's woke shit in there.
Yeah, that lines up.
Okay, so and then I figured out pretty much anything after 2020 is just woke. Like, as far as Amazon goes, you have to just put on the blue glasses and just ignore it, or else it's gonna be there.
You kind of do, man. I just started watching The Boys. I had never seen The Boys, and I had so many of my friends trying to get me to watch it for years, or like for at least the last like year and a half.
It's a good show.
I just started it. I just finished season 1. I just started season 2, and in the beginning.
You're in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's good, dude. It's really good.
Yeah, I've already had a couple of my friends who are like, there is a lot of what the fuck moments that you have to prepare yourself for, but then like, I caught myself kind of like reading on Google, like, and getting like people who were just like,
yeah,
like telling you that certain parts of like certain seasons get like super woke, and you're like. Am I getting myself ready for disappointment?
Yeah. It's sometimes it's like that. Give me 1 sec. Alright, so yeah, The Boys is it's pretty interesting. I actually like that show a lot. There's some woke stuff in it, but like I said, you just gotta ignore all the woke shit. Like, most of it you gotta understand is just kind of like injected into the character line and plot. Like, it doesn't belong there because like nobody really cares that much. Like, it's like it doesn't help the plot.
Yeah.
It's like a sex scene.
Yeah.
A sex scene that goes on too long. It's like, why am I watching this? Like what is the point?
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't care. Like, it's just taking up minutes that could be.
Can we get back to the story?
Maybe an action scene.
Yeah.
Maybe like some murder.
Where's Homelander? I need to see Homelander doing some fuck shit again.
Homelander cut someone in half. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's a really cool show because it just gets more and more intense. You know, I've described it before as like a bad dubstep song. You know, how it just keeps building up and up and up and up, and then it doesn't drop. It just builds up and up and up again. And it just keeps building up over and over and over. And like even at the end of the season, it doesn't drop. You're like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, oh, you're expecting the world to end. Like every season, the world is supposed to end, and like something happens where it doesn't. You're like, oh my god.
It's like the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, dude. The Umbrella Academy is the same way. They just build it up over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show is even harder to watch if you're sensitive to woke shit.
Yeah. I gotta, dude, I really liked that show. I really did. And like that last season that came out, I was not there for it. I was like, I thought it was a good season, like as far as like the storyline went.
The story's so cool.
Yeah, the storyline was sick, but then you're just like, there's so much unnecessary shit in here.
Yeah, it's like half of it doesn't need to be on the screen at all. Like
Yeah.
they could have cut the season in half and got the same story out.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, dude, I wish that he'd come out with a third book before a third season. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I wish they wrote it as a book before a TV show. Because I'm still waiting for the third book.
Yeah.
I read the first two, and the first two were so far apart already. They're like 3 years apart or something. And the third book has been like 13 years in the making. Like, we're waiting for it still. All the fans, you know. Have you read them?
I have not.
They're really good, man. They're crazy. Like, it comes across as a comic better. Because you can do the wild shit and not explain it.
Yeah.
Because it just goes panel to panel, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to animate it. So it's like some crazy shit happens and you're just like, you have to use your imagination to fill the gaps in.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, you know, the squad of time hitmen surrounding Five. And he just kind of like looks over his shoulder. And then the next panel, they're all dead. And you're like, oh shit, dude. Like this guy doesn't fuck around. Like
This guy don't fuck around. This guy
show
knows.
a couple panels where he's shooting a gun.
Yeah.
And like they're all gone. It's like, and like so one of them is in half with his intestines coming out. It's like just crazy brutal shit. You're like, ooh, number 5 is a badass.
Number five is like the most badass character in that entire show.
Yeah, but even in the show they played him down.
Yeah.
In the comic, like he is scary. Like they make him like a murderous psychopath. Like he's way scarier in the comic. Like you don't know what he's talking about. Like in the show they have him like in love with a mannequin like Dolores.
Yeah.
You know, and they make it like a joke, like, oh he's like still in love with Dolores. Like no, in the comic like he fucking murders people over that shit. Like you have no idea. Like it's frightening. Like when he says something about Dolores, people like they're like nervous. They're like, oh, he's cracking again.
Oh no.
He could murder all of us in like the blink of an eye. Like, oh geez, like they're scared of number 5, you know. In the show, they treat him like, oh, you're just the little brother who ended up with the best power. Like,
that was like the number one thing. I was watching that show and I'm like, all right, so you got number 1, you got Luther, you know, you got this dude who's got super strength.
Yeah.
Hairier, like got all that hair and shit like a werewolf or whatever.
Supposed to have a gorilla body.
A gorilla body. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't tell if it was ever like a gorilla or if it was
in this show.
Yeah, because like the whole moon thing, you kind of insinuate.
In the comic, what happens is he has an accident when he's like a teenager, and they put his head on a gorilla body. They surgically attach his head to a different body. So in the comic, he literally has a gorilla body. Like it's not just he's big. Like in the show, they made it to where like they spliced his genes with a gorilla to save his life. In the comic, they literally just put his head on a different body. Like it's wild, but he kept his powers. So now he's like a super strong gorilla. It's wild, dude. Like the comic is way different.
I gotta read these comics.
It's nuts, dude. Yeah, it's by Gerard Way.
Oh yeah, Gerard Way.
He wrote the comics, you know.
Yeah.
I think he wrote a lot of Doom Patrol too, didn't he?
I think so.
So if you watch the Doom Patrol show, it kind of looks like Umbrella Academy a little bit, but it's DC characters.
I haven't watched Doom Patrol yet. I've you know, as
it's
far
just
as
like Umbrella Academy.
I've kind of like I'm not one really for like TV a whole lot. Yeah. Like like believe it or not, I actually just like 2 weeks ago I binge watched all of Game of Thrones. because I'd never seen it.
Oh yeah.
And I binge watched the entirety of the show in like
about
a week.
Season 7 and 8.
Pissed me off. Pissed me off. I was mad as shit.
I'm season 6, dude.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my couch, man, and my girlfriend's just like sitting there. She's like, "Oh, I've already seen it. Just wait until this part." And I'm like, "You know what? Shut up." I
don't believe you.
I'm just like sitting here watching the TV, and then after the episode would end, I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
It can't be that bad.
And I'm like, "Are you fucking George R. goddamn Martin?"
No, it wasn't him.
It's HBO.
They caught up to his books, and they're like, "Oh, we need to keep this going.
We gotta keep
these episodes coming out."
HBO's just like,
"Can't wait for your ass to write another book."
we gotta find someone who can write me the most fuck shit right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna watch House of Dragons.
I started the first episode and I turned it off halfway through because I was like, "You tell me right now that Doctor Who is over here doing nah." I'm a pass on this for right now.
Yeah, I'm not watching House of Dragons. Dude, it's so hard. Like the more recent a production is, like the harder it is to have faith in its quality.
Yeah,
because it has to censor itself and just bend to whatever social justice warriors are out there at the moment.
Yeah,
they have to be so careful with everything they do, but at the same time they have to be as wild as possible. It's like, okay, so that comes down to blood.
Yeah,
everybody has blood, so it's just the bloodiest things get on screen.
Pretty much.
And you have to have a lesbian, you have to have a gay guy, you have to have different colored people. And it's like, it doesn't matter where it's set. It doesn't matter if like where in the geographically it is. It doesn't matter any of that.
Welcome to television in the year 2022.
It's like it's less realistic now.
Like
they're making it less realistic by trying to make it more real.
And
I don't know.
There's like a couple of movies that are coming out, soon. I've been watching like videos about them and stuff. Like historians even talking about them, going, "This is not how this happens." Like, even though it says based on a true story, what is based on a true story here? Because this is not how this works.
Well, if you think about it, like, there's nothing legally stopping anybody from putting that in front of a movie.
Yeah.
There's no law saying you can't do that.
Yeah.
I could put based on a true story and then make a story about, a fucking skateboard that rolls around and kills people. It's like, what is based on a true story?
It sounds like a Stephen King book.
It doesn't matter, dude. So it's like based on a false story, based on a kind of true story.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's just a story. So it's like, I don't know. You could change the ending of anything. Change the beginning of anything. It's based on this.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool. I want, man. Could you imagine a movie based off of the Arizona music scene?
A movie, dude.
Rated R.
Immediately. It's funny that you say that. There's a production coming out, and it's such a small production. And I actually had the director on this podcast. He's like episode 8 or something. But his name is Keith Obit. He runs a podcast called The Podcast, and he's coming out with this production called The Sound Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally about a sound guy in the Arizona music scene doing metal, like sound for metal.
Was it Jeff?
I don't know like who it's based on specifically, but he told me that he got an actual like sound guy from Arizona to play the part for the scene so that he knows what he's doing and it looks real. It's like that's fucking genius for one. Like,
yeah,
to go out of your way to just depend on this dude to act well. It's like, hopefully you're a good actor, but at least you know what you're doing, like in the scene, so at least he's doing real things. So maybe that'll attribute to the good acting. But I'm interested in this coming out. It's coming out pretty soon, though.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man. That sounds sick.
It's just a comedy. I'm imagining it's gonna be like Clerks kind of style.
Oh, I hope
where
so.
It's just like, low budget production, kind of just like, one-liner kind of humor, just like about a sound guy going through bullshit, you know, going through all the shit it is to be a sound guy, like people telling you how to do your job all the time and stuff.
You're just like, I'm just trying to run front of house right now. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
Leave me
Can
alone.
you turn this guy up? I can barely hear him.
Can I get a little bit more guitar on my monitor?
Yeah, sure. And you just turn up a knob that's not even on an input. Just to look like you're doing something. You push up a fader that has nothing on it.
Sound good? Yeah, sounds perfect.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
So it's like, yeah, it's a show about shit like that, you know. I'm excited to watch it, but yeah, I gotta have that guy back on. He's pretty fun. So that's worth checking out. That's a show about the Arizona music scene. I don't know what kind of spots it's gonna hit. I don't know if it's about the music scene or just about being a sound guy, you know.
Hey, either or, man, you're gonna get some quality comedy out of either of those subjects.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty entertaining, I hope.
I feel like if we could get like a just like a movie or like a documentary on like the Arizona music scene, I feel like people would like watch it and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing it the lazy way.
you got the podcast going.
Yeah, that's the lazy way to do a documentary. I'm just talking to people and getting their stories on a recording. I literally just take this recording. I like splice together all the interruptions or whatever. I make sure there's not too much dead air and that kind of stuff. And then I run it through my my processing that cleans up all the pops and clicks. I make sure it sounds good, and then I just publish it. I don't cut shit out of this.
You're like, perfect. Let's go.
Like the most raw documentary you can imagine.
This is raw audio. This is gonna go down in history.
Raw
audio.
Yeah.
There we go.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Too close to radio.
Dude, you want to hear something? I think here's a good one. Back in when we played our first show, when we played with Slaughter to Prevail, mind you, this was like my first time playing like an actual show.
Yeah.
And me and my fill-in guitarist at the time, Nick, I took my bass and he had his guitar, and we like went into the green room at Pub Rock to go just like kind of put him down for a second so we could finish loading in the rest of the shit. And the guitarist for Slaughter to Prevail walked in, and he was just not fucking happy that we were in the green room at all. And he straight up started yelling for his tour manager. Dude's name was Mark, and he's just yelling, Mark, Mark, Mark. And then finally his tour manager comes around. He goes, what the fuck are you guys doing in this green room? We're like, we're just setting our stuff down. We're finishing loading out. And like they straight up booted us out of the green room, and Nick and I are just sitting there looking at each other going, well, that was a good way to start our first show.
Dude,
getting kicked out of the green room.
Those guys.
Never
be one of those guys. I worked at fucking a few shows at the Orpheum Theater and stuff, and like you can always pick those people out immediately. Like they fucking shine.
Yeah.
In a good way.
I love Slaughter to Prevail, man. But that was something that'll always like stick with me, because I'm like, I give a fuck less about the green room. I get you have, you just want your space and whatnot, your chill space where you don't have to be around a whole lot of people and shit. But if you want to do that, you just go outside, go kick it, go chill. Like, if you need to sleep, go put your head down somewhere, go relax, go rest or whatnot. But like, it's just a green room. It's just a room.
You need a quiet, empty room.
Yeah, you need to go yell at like a styrofoam padded like fucking room or something. Like,
you sit in the dark for at least 60 minutes before your show.
You need to take this back to 2006. Sit in the closet, listen to Simple Plan, and cry for 30 minutes.
I have a ritual, okay? You can't be in here.
I could be really upset at my parents for some reason. I gotta blame my entire family for this. Flip my hair over my eye for like 10 minutes.
Maybe he just needed a spot to jack off.
Hey man, whatever. Let him do his thing. Thank God I didn't have to be in there, man. Whatever.
He does in the green room, I guess.
Hey man, green room, white room, whatever you want to call it, dude.
Oh, fuck. Man. Yeah, some people just get like too picky with how things are happening,
Yeah.
Just can't roll with the punches. It's like, oh, there's someone in the green room. Well, I guess I just won't talk to them. Like, like I don't feel like talking to you. Like bring headphones.
Yeah.
You don't have to play music. Just put them in.
Put in some headphones and just sit there and vibe, relax, do your thing, whatever. Oh man, I just don't get it. I've talked to a lot of guys, especially a lot of the guys in our local scene and whatnot. And I don't think I've ever met somebody who's got like an ego like that, And it's really nice to be able to like see some of these guys, and just they're just real. They're themselves, They don't have some kind of ego and whatnot because, as far as I'm concerned, the mentality you got to have is, nobody listens to my band. My band sucks. We're shit,
Yeah.
And until you do something,
you don't
it's
even
just
have
the mentality
to do that. Just focus on the fact that like you're making music and you're playing it to people and people are enjoying it. Like, keep doing that.
Whether you're playing to a room of 5 people, no people, 200, 300 plus.
No people, I get it's a drag. Playing it to no people. Okay, like I get why you're disappointed.
Yeah, you'd be disappointed, but no matter.
And you didn't.
Yeah.
Close. Like, you should feel a little down about that. That makes sense. If it's a room full of people and they're all cheering for you and shit, and then you're still like down because you're too small, like, dude, come on, like.
At our very first headliner, man, back in 2019, we had a pretty stacked lineup. We had like a Lapse of Ethos on. We had It's All Grizzly, Graves of the Monuments, Torah. We had a really nice fucking lineup of dudes, and it was a lot of fun. But even when we went on, dude, everybody had pretty much left. We had like maybe 15 people, 15 people watching. And I wouldn't even say it was a drag. It might have been a drag to some of the other guys, but I can't speak on their behalf. But when it comes down to it, like the way I see it is, no matter how many people are in the room, give it your all, because no matter what, there's someone watching. And if someone's able to watch and take that experience and be like, hey, there was nobody in that room, but that vocalist still went off, that guitarist still went off, that drummer still fucking was sweating his ass off at the end of that set, going ham. The bassist, I could hear the laptop going, but whatever,
Yeah. Well, I remember one of the times Arcanaut and Condemned, we both went down to Bixby. We got a trailer. We rented a trailer and went down and did a show in Bixby, and it was really bad because the first band was like late as fuck. They were like an hour and a half late, so Condemned ended up going on at like midnight, which means Arcanaut was almost going on at 1 a.m. It was just like stupid, dude. Fuck. The bar was empty. It was totally empty. Arcanaut played to Condemned Till Dawn and the bartender. The bartender was cool. She had a Scatterguts shirt on.
Yeah.
She was like ready for the show. She's like, hell yeah, metal show. Metal show tonight. Like, I'm gonna wear my metal shirt. She was ready. She probably was the one who convinced her manager to book the fucking bands. But
good taste.
We need some metal bands. Like, I could see it. But it was Condemned played to Arcanaut and one couple, and then Arcanaut went on and played to Condemned and the bartender. So it was like, and it sucks because it was like a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So we drove 4 hours to just play music to each other, and then drove 4 hours back. It was like, the drive back was miserable because we were just like, ow.
This kind of hurt.
Yeah, this was a lot of gas money, a lot of fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Just to play these shows and have a couple beers, like, could have done this shit in the studio.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, that hurt. Sometimes it's not always good. You have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
That battle, you should not have done it. I don't care. Like, you could say, like, oh yeah, it's good, even if there's nobody there. Like, nah, I don't believe that. Like, if there's nobody there, you probably shouldn't have booked the show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to pick your battles and understand which one's a loss and which one's a win.
Yeah.
Saying everything's a win is kind of...
I wouldn't say everything's a win, but I would say like just even having people there who can like just experience it. I'm not saying like play to play, like if like there's not going to be a lot of people there, don't book it. But when it comes down to like for our very first headliner, there was I think there was probably close to like 150, 200 people there at first. Yeah. And then just people started leaving, throughout the night. And then we didn't go on until like fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. That's and you have to take it into like consideration. A lot of people are still working and shit like that, so people leave. Yeah.
Metal
So
shows are usually on weekdays.
yeah, that's why we were trying to. That's why we got Sad Dad Summerfest this last summer to be on a Friday night. Get people out. Oh yeah, we're gonna stick it to the summer. I think this next year we're aiming to have a lot more than 5 bands. we're aiming to try to bring on anywhere between like 10 to 15 bands.
Is there a specific venue you're aiming at, or
we've had discussions of
hold on, just let's back up. Who are you working with? Anybody on Sad Dad Summerfest?
So for Sad Dad Summerfest right now, 13th Floor has greenlit it.
13th Floor.
We're working with 13th Floor with Kim, and then on top of that, Andrew from Devour Designs. He's said he wanted to jump in on it. Yeah, he wanted to jump in on it, and
that's cool.
Some members of some of the bands who played last year are wanting to kind of stick with it, and kind of
Amaya and Condemned.
Yeah, Amaya was gonna play this in last summer, but they unfortunately weren't able to.
I just know Dakota would love it.
Oh,
I know Dakota wants to so bad.
Oh yeah, I want to play with Amaya. Like Dakota's my baby boy.
Like so much. Sad Dad Summerfest. That's Dakota. It's him. Fucking
oh, we were trying for so long to like kind of figure out what we were gonna do, and then like when we did the photo shoot, like the promotional photo shoot, we're all like, all right, everybody wear the shortest shorts you have, wear flip flops or like some Nike, wear some dad shoes. If you got mandals, wear them. Whatever, wear a dad hat. And we sat out there and we drank a whole bunch of PBR and just talked shit for like an hour and getting the dumbest pictures taken, but they were the funniest. Like it was just like, was this necessary? No. Yes. No. But yes. It fits the bill for a lot of the guys in the local scene. Like especially like Dakota and Tim. Like
it's about doing it.
It's about having fun and just enjoying the shit.
Yeah, just go do something. Create something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not metal, like. I know it's talking shit about how weird you can make shit,
Oh yeah.
How shit can be too weird, but I don't know, like the crazy photo shoots and shit that happen, like I don't know, like I can imagine the Sad Dad Summerfest here in the Arizona scene. All those dudes, there's some pretty creative stuff there. I can see the potential for like some funny fucking jokes and shit.
I believe this next year, we still want to make sure that we're highlighting a lot of the local bands in Arizona, because that's what the first year was. After the whole just headliner thing kind of disintegrated into let's turn this into a festival kind of thing. It was like, hey, let's get Arizona's local bands. Let's make this a local band festival. Let's make this something where we can spotlight the local bands who are out there hustling and busting ass and doing what they got to do and just putting on shows. Who gives a shit? Let's go out there and have fun. And so, I know this next year,
more planning.
Yeah, there's a lot more planning going into it. Like I want to do a little bit of like a something new. I want to bring maybe a little bit of genre swap. Probably try to get some bands who aren't exactly metal, or maybe an artist or two who's like maybe more rap and something like that to like open the show and kind of just kind of flow with it, vibe with it. Second year Sad Dad Summerfest. Let's keep the vibe going. We did have a stupid talk how it was like last year it was the swim trunks and beach balls and stuff. Next year let's do like White Claws and visors.
Like golf dads.
Yeah, like do golf dads next year instead of beach dads.
Yeah.
And barbecue dads and whatnot.
Yeah, that would be cool. Just do a different theme of dad.
Yeah, pretty much. Like just keep the vibe going for everyone to go out there and like everyone to show up.
Hippie dad.
Oh, dude, I think I spent like $100 on beach balls for Sad Dad Summerfest, and we sat there and blew them up just like for like 30 minutes. We spent like just sitting by a side stage, just blowing up these beach balls.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Compressor.
That was the plan initially, and then my buddy forgot the air compressor, so it was like, oh shit, okay, well I guess we're doing this all manually. This is gonna suck.
Even like a air mattress pump.
Yeah, that could have worked.
Good.
That could have worked, but
that would have been perfect.
I don't think any of us thought that far ahead. We were just like beach balls.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to look out for that next time. Maybe I'll try to help get involved with that planning.
That would be sick.
Dude, I love that kind of shit. I need to. I like management and like the production and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like after doing I was working with the union for a while, like doing theater shows and stuff, and like looking at the planning that's involved with like getting a band on stage and like accommodating all the dancers and like having the lights set up and the curtains and like everything's like fucking ready to go for the show and all that and like dude, there's some crazy complicated shows and like some really simple ones.
Yeah.
And like each part is different too. There could be some super complicated lighting and really simple audio, and then other shows are like really complicated audio and like one rack of lights.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like everything is totally different, and like watching the management and like the planning and everything that goes into it. Dude, like the Sad Dad Summerfest idea is like with the local metal scene. It's just kind of like making my brain like kind of spark.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude, that sounds so cool.
We spent a lot of money, just like a lot of money, just like getting our own lights and stuff, so that we could put on like a light show during our set.
Different projectors.
Yeah, and we've even gone. We're like still buying more lights to this day. We're still buying more lights and more shit to make our live performances look stupid sick. Like I went as far as buying geysers, just to have the smoke spray up and.
Oh, nice.
And we want to make it so that it's like yeah, we might not be a touring band yet. We might. Huh?
You have QLab?
I have no idea.
QLab is the program that lets you like trigger those. So you can like trigger them to a button press.
Yeah, see, I've got a very small brain, so
it's a program. Like it's a YouTube video away. You know what I mean? Like you can like search QLab and like that's what you would use. You know how you use Logic to record audio?
Yeah.
Use QLab to make lights and smoke things go off. Like it's all on a robotic production. Like program it.
Well, I know Stefan programs all. He spends like.
So Stefan probably has QLab.
Yeah, he programs all the lights and everything like in advance. All the lights, the geysers. He gets all that done. He's a big brain.
Yeah, he knows what QLab is then.
Yeah, he big brain, me small brain.
Even if he doesn't use it, he knows what it is.
Yeah.
There's several programs out there. I just know that's the one that they taught us when I was going to school at Crafts.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that sounds like a blast. Fucking making a production. How do you make it dad themed? Smoke and lights.
Well, I guess ours was we kind of like just made it so like it wasn't even dad themed lights. It was just like we wanted to. Yeah, kind of. Everybody else had like their own like how they were gonna dress going on stage. I don't think any of us in Apex like actually like followed the dad theme. We were all just like, all right, we need to like we like all have our own like stage gear and shit like that. How we dress and whatnot. And I think none of us really thought about it like in our band.
It was a normal show for you guys.
Yeah, it was a normal show for us.
Everyone else picked up the Sad Dad thing.
Yeah, everybody else did. We were just like, we were behind on. We were like, oh shit, maybe we should have done that. But like all of us were just like, fuck it, let's just go out there.
That works, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody remembers.
Yeah, nobody remembers at this point.
Remember your music, not
barely.
What you were wearing. It's not about what you were wearing. You should make it about what you're wearing.
See, that would be get someone out there in like an inflatable like T-Rex like costume and
inflatable T-Rex.
Yeah.
Good. With a fanny pack.
Oh yeah. Get the crossbody bags and whatnot.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's go. That's the party.
Try to get an old VHS recorder.
Oh
shit. That would be like the ultimate throwback, nostalgic.
Breakout Polaroid camera.
Mythical dad that used to exist.
Oh, we like through 13th floor, like that was like one of the coolest things. It was like 13th floor. Kim had gone through like jumped through a couple hoops and like booked a photo booth for it.
Oh yeah.
And so they had.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, there was a photo booth, and so it had like the Sad Dad Summerfest logo on all the pictures that came out.
Oh,
it was so sick.
Cool.
It was so sick.
That's funny.
Some of the funniest pictures. Like the company sent out the link so you could like view all the pictures that were taken. Just like, some of the funniest fucking pictures.
Like Dakota and Kyler making out. Was that like?
Unfortunately, not. I was waiting for it, but nah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, you're over here like I know they've divorced twice now, and they've gotten back together.
I know, it's just always on the top of my mind.
Yeah,
such a big deal.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. The Dakota and Kyler divorce, that was prime news for like 3 days.
Yeah, I saw nothing but that.
Yeah, and thanks to Dipper. Dipper was making those TikToks, highlighting the breaking news.
I'm not even friends with that guy. I saw all of his memes.
Like they were popping up. I didn't even know who this guy was. He just kept popping up.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I still don't know who that is. Like, I don't know. Who's Dipper?
He's the vocalist of It's All Grizzly.
It's All Grizzly?
It's All Grizzly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll hit him up. His meme skills could be good for this podcast, maybe.
Oh, you gotta get Dipper on this podcast. That'd be funny.
I gotta get video.
That'd be some prime conversation.
But yeah, I'll get Dipper. I'm sure if you think he's got some good stories to tell.
Oh, Dipper's a history book.
I'll have anybody who's got some stories, man.
Oh, I know plenty of people, man. You got a list of people you got to get on.
Anybody outside the metal scene? Like rappers.
Man, I mean, you can get like Dondre on here.
Kind of stuff, or maybe even who?
You can get Dondre on here.
Dondre?
Yeah, Dondre the Giant, man.
Dondre the Giant?
Yeah, he's a rapper. He's a local scene rapper, man. Let me tell you, man, that guy. He's a pretty good friend of mine. That dude.
Send me a link.
I'll send you a link.
I'll hit him up.
I think he actually just dropped his second.
You know him, or you know of him?
Oh, I know him.
You know him?
Yeah. He also used to play guitar in a local band here called All in Agony.
Tell him to hit me up. Like, tell him come on. It's hard to cold message people, When I just reach out and say, hey, you should be on my podcast, like, I feel like an idiot. And I feel like I sound like an idiot. Like, this guy doesn't know me.
Oh, no, dude. I see.
It's happened quite a few times. You have no idea.
Oh, man.
My cold messages get ignored all the time.
Oh, it
helps. I expect it. It's like a shot in the dark, Oh, maybe they'll respond. Maybe they won't see it ever. Maybe they don't look at their artist page. Maybe this, that. I don't know. I don't know how people live. I don't know their habits.
Yeah.
I don't take it personally or anything. But it's hard. Like,
keeping up with like an artist page is like, it's so tedious sometimes because like you just don't have the time for it.
I did it for Arcanaut and Sarah for a little bit, or I was trying to keep up with it, but it's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not a social media manager. I was trying to be a band manager, and I ended up being like a social media manager. That's not what I wanted to do. Like this, and I was hoping like social media would be something that would be like a group effort. It didn't turn out that way, but it's fine. It's a hard thing. It's like its own instrument, You gotta learn how to play the fucking Facebook algorithm game and the Instagram game and the fucking TikTok game, because TikTok is the most popular right now.
TikTok will get you some fucking views, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. TikTok is the most popular in the younger crowd right now, which has grown up with the internet.
It really has.
Me, I'm a fucking old piece of shit.
Same.
I grew up without the internet.
Same. I grew up. I'm 27.
27? Yeah, I'm 30 right now. It's like about the same generation.
I grew up with dial-up, and someone can't use the phone if you're on the computer.
I remember having an Xbox 360 and not being able to hook it to the internet.
Yep.
I was like, God damn, dude! If I could just hook this to the internet, I could play Call of Duty 3.
Yep.
With other people.
Right.
We did it. We actually put it in my kitchen because that's where the internet hookup was. So we hooked up my Xbox on the kitchen counter with a big ass tube TV. Like we carried it out from my room, set it on the counter, and like oh man, like memory unlocked. Like me and my brother would just be sitting there playing Call of Duty 3. It was so easy because the sniper, they gave you just a free artillery every life. It's like the most overpowered thing in the world. So you just drop artillery on people and they go die on purpose. And they go drop more artillery just to make people mad. Like you're not trying to win. You're just trying to drop artillery constantly. And we would like scream at people over the mic. We just yell at the top of our lungs, just screaming. And our neighbors came over and knocked on the door and asked if everything was okay because they were yelling. It was like just crazy battle cries, you know? It's like, fuck, the neighbors heard that shit.
I was thinking about it the other day, man. It, like that hits that spot because you think about it, and like kids now who are like super high up on Call of Duty and playing games, they would not have survived in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you get your feelings hurt over somebody calling you a name now.
Dude, it was a lot of it was mental, dude.
Yeah,
Like you could take that into account. You could literally be like, all right, let's fuck with their head while we're playing, and we might win.
Yeah,
like, that was a legitimate strategy. You could piss them off and win. Like that,
piss them off enough where they're rage quitting and all kinds of shit.
Nowadays, if you say the wrong thing, you can get banned.
Yeah, you'll get banned.
They'll just ban you, and then it's like, okay, so now you can't use that game anymore.
Yeah,
you can't use that strategy. You can't tell them like, oh, your mom probably sucks dick on the weekend for your lunch money. You can't say that shit anymore. Like, you'll get banned.
It's even that even happens with EA, man. Like I play Madden a lot, and like playing Madden like back when like Madden 12 and 13, 14, when those were out, you could talk shit while you were playing against somebody online. Now, so if you start talking shit over Xbox Live or PlayStation Network and you're playing that game, that person reports you once and you're done. EA will just go for your throat.
EA's the worst.
They'll just
try to
go
stay away from EA games.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the reasons I don't play Battlefield. The other reason is because I suck. But I don't like Battlefield, dude.
Same.
It's too big. It's just too big. Like, I like Call of Duty. It's all small. It's like arena paintball. You're in there. You're shooting all the time. You're fucking constantly unloading your ammo. Like, you're getting kills. You're fucking dying. Like, everything is just going, like, now.
Yep.
Battlefield is, like, too much planning. I don't like it.
And you have to be, like, real spot on and precise to play Battlefield. I couldn't do it. I think, like, my favorite Call of Duty game I ever actually, like, got so far into, I was obsessed. It was Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was like...
I got really into that one.
Yeah, that was like that was a constant, like, every day after high school. Like,
yeah, that was a really good one. That was Modern Warfare 2 for me. I played Modern Warfare 2 was my high school game. Like, that's what I did. Well, we're like 3 years apart, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Those games are literally like 3 years apart.
Yeah.
So, Modern Warfare 2 was the one where I like went home after school, and me and my buddy Andrew, like, I left my Xbox and TV at his house. I didn't even play at home anymore. I would just play at his place because he's closer to Greenway.
You went to Greenway?
Yeah.
Hey, same.
Yeah, nice.
Let's go.
I had the same fucking teachers.
class of 2013, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, it was 2010.
Let's go.
I was a freshman when I was graduating. But yeah, dude, I just walked to his house every day. We just played Modern Warfare 2 on the big tube TVs. Because if you use the HDMI connection, the HD TVs would lag.
Yep.
Because they had to process the resolution and make it bigger.
Oh yeah.
So it would lag, and that was like the biggest pain in the ass. You had to have a glass tube TV in order to play competitively. It's like you could tell the players that weren't using it.
Yeah.
You could tell if somebody was using a fucking like HD TV when they were brand new. God, this guy sucks. He can't hit me. He can't aim. I'm right behind him. I'm walking around him in circles. Like
this guy can't see shit. He can't see shit. He can't see shit.
It's like you can just tell the guys that are not using the right TV. So it's like go over there and play just every single day.
Yeah.
Him and like a couple of my other friends, like they would all play, and like I was the worst one easily. And I still think I was pretty good. And they were like phenomenal. They were way better than me. Like fucking 4-0, like 4 kill death ratios. Like fucking always killing like 30, 40 people every single game. Like how the fuck do you guys do this? And they're like, I didn't do that good. Like. I went negative. Like, what are you talking about?
That's how a lot of my friends are, man. I see some of my friends still play Call of Duty, and I'm like, dude, I was one of those people who was like 5 sensitivity. Like, I was not about the fast movements, and then I've got friends who've got their sensitivity at like max. And you're watching them just run, like sprint, turn around, throw a knife, whatever, and you're just like, first off, no, I have to be running it like real slow. I can't pay attention. Like I've got ADD. Like
they would all have max sensitivity, and like I would be at like 7 instead of 10.
Yeah.
And I would be like 3 points down from them. I would like try to turn it up to 8, and I would get frustrated, like, no, back down to 7.
Like, no, back down.
I can play just fine like this.
Yep.
Like,
I'm content. If I die, I die.
I got a 1 kill death ratio. As long as I can kill before I die, okay. Like, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Like, if I die without killing anybody, that's when I get fucking angry. I'll get so mad. But yeah, video games are tough for me because if they're competitive, I just lose my fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
I don't play Call of Duty anymore. I can't.
Oh no.
I can't because I just get too mad. I play like single player games now.
I think the older we get, the more pissed off we get at video games.
I feel like it's like I'm stronger.
So this wouldn't have killed me in real life, you punk bitch.
No, if I like flex on my controller, it will snap in half. Like when I was in high school, I don't know if I could do that. But like nowadays, like with my strength now, like dude, I would rip that controller in half if I got too mad. You know, I can't play games like that. Like I've broken controllers by flexing them.
Yeah.
Like pull one left and one right, you know? God, just almost break the controller in half. Like
you're just like, well, that's a waste of fucking money. God damn it.
I played Call of Duty a lot when I was in the Navy. So for like 4 years, I played a lot of Call of Duty, and I would get way too mad. Like, no, it's not good for me. Like I can't. Like I would love to. It'd be fun to play Call of Duty with like friends or something.
Yeah.
Online, can't do it. Like people are too good now too.
People have a lot of time on their hands.
Way higher than when I was in high school. Like it's jumped so high. People are way too good.
But see, back when we were in like high school, you know, stuff like that, like playing Call of Duty was more like it would piss you off. But yeah, but it was one of those things where like you didn't have to worry about everything being recycled 24/7.
Yeah.
And so like when Nuketown got introduced, everyone was like, "This is the sickest shit."
Yeah, it was brand fucking new.
Yeah.
It was like, in at the same time, it was like creative.
Yeah.
Like there was constantly new stuff coming out. So you're like, how can I kill like in this map? You know, oh, new weapon. Like how can I use this weapon to for my advantage? You know, like what, you know, like oh, can I jump off of this spot here and like get a good view before I fall down or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
And like a lot of that kind of went away. They started recycling maps. They started, you know, like making it just a little more saturated.
Yeah, just a bit.
I don't know, man. It's been an interesting ride, like paying attention to Call of Duty, but I think how much more can you do? You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, looks like we're kind of running out of time a little bit here. But
yeah.
I look forward to hearing more about your band.
Oh,
Where
dude.
you're going with this.
Oh yeah.
But Sad Dad Summerfest. I'm really excited about that.
2023, man. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the ball.
There's honestly a tiny little blip on my radar, but after this podcast, like, I now want to look for it. I want to be looking for that shit. It's gonna be cool.
I got to up that marketing, so I'm hoping run this podcast back again. Come back here in a couple months.
It's a little hopeful.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people listening to this.
Let's change that.
Probably more than I think, but it's probably less than you think.
Let's definitely change that. Let's get that up. Let's get those numbers up.
Oh, yeah, dude. Show people your episode. That's
Fuck
fine.
yeah, let's go. Let's
Plug my podcast. I'll show them your band.
Let's go. Where's those plugs? Let's go.
Yeah, man. I gotta make some stickers and more business cards. I'll hand them out and everything like that.
Smack that sticker on my truck. I'll drive that shit around. Let's go.
All right, man. Well, it's been good talking with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise.
All right, man. Until next time.